Hey everybody, this is Joseph Pasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to Blue Jays Strike Zone with the broadcasting legends Norm and Norm RUMACK, dressed up for the occasion, and of course my good friend Mark ZWOLINSKI, formerly of the Toronto Star. We're going to get to what he's doing now, but before we begin the preview of the Blue Jays Game 1 ALCS versus the Seattle Mariners, let's talk about the Seattle Mariners Game 5 against with the Detroit Tigers. 15-inning affair. Even had to call Norm, and Norm wasn't drinking coffee for the first time ever. He was like, wow, this game's not bad. This game is any better than any Blue Jay game. 15 innings. Now I'll ask Mark first. We'll start off with Mark. Game 1 tonight here at the Sky Dome or Rogers Center, 8 o'clock. Seattle traveling. They play till 1 o'clock. On Friday. They have to travel all day Saturday, play on Sunday here. Would that have an effect on them?
I can't see it not having an effect on them. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure you've traveled all over the world at times in your life.
Like normal.
I've always found the 3-hour time difference the worst on terms of jet lag, as opposed to, say, coming home from Europe on a 7 or a 9-hour flight and have that kind of difference. So I think that's going to have a toll. But as we were saying, as we were discussing there earlier, Joey, I'm sure Seattle's used to it. They have to come east a lot. Probably all those West Coast teams are, dialed into that as much as they can be. The physical toll should be there. The mental toll, they're pros. They should be sharp, but you can't discount that. That's got to be something that the Jays can take advantage of by putting pressure on them early with hitting, with base running, and catch them perhaps on a misstep here or on a slower step to start the series. So I would think it would have to be some kind of factor. We'll see.
Oh, do you agree, Norm?
Well, I know that when NHL teams like Toronto go on a West Coast trip, usually when they come back from their West Coast trip, first couple of games back east, they're a little bit out of sync. So there's a chance for Seattle to take advantage, assuming they, get some games in Seattle, right? Or when they get back to Seattle, that the Mariners might be able to take advantage of the Blue Jays being a little bit out of sync. So I think it works both ways. I don't think it's just one team. So, but as Mark said, these guys play so many games. You play that many games in a season, 160 regular season games or whatever it is. I think you get used to it, and I think they set their sleep patterns, and they probably adjust them before they leave for Toronto to try and get on East time in the Eastern time zone. So they're probably ready for it, and there's things you can take like melatonin to help you sleep. So I don't think that's an illegal drug. We all use melatonin.
You know what we found out, Mark, here? First of all, Norm RUMACK is half asleep, and he said 160. He's been sleeping to 2 games throughout the regular season because there's 162 games a year in baseball, okay, Norm? So you slept for the 2 games. You're taking melatonin, sanatonin, whatever, all right? What are you talking about here? I'm just talking, would they have an advantage? Yes or no? You give me a big story of melatonin, whatever. You know what you should take? When you watch the Maple Leaf game, you should take melatonin, and hopefully you bypass Maple Leafs blowing 2-goal leads. All right. So to be fair, let's talk about Game 5 in the NLDS with Milwaukee and the Cubs. Milwaukee, the best team in the league, beating the Cubs 3-1. What did you expect? Did you expect a 5-game series there, Mark?
No. I've watched Milwaukee. I think they were deserving of that best record in the league. I did not expect them to go 5. They did. I think they obviously sealed it up last night. But that's that whole thing is just now whoever gets served up to the Dodgers to see how they can do it. Milwaukee is I think a better rounded team than the Cubs to face that battle. I was looking up, and I apologize. I don't know what their record was against the Dodgers this year, but they had a good record against everybody. But no, I did not expect that one to go 5. I did expect the Jays to go 5 against the Yankees. And to be honest with you, I know there's a bunch of whatever you want to call it, controversy or remarks going between Buck and Buck Martinez and the Boone there about when Buck said that the Yankees are just not that good a team. I can see that getting under their skin, but I think Buck was right. I mean, defense and bullpen actually hurt, was the Yankees' Achilles heel. And if you don't play good defense in the postseason, good luck. You cannot give teams runs constant, and that was proved in the series with the Jays. But as far as Milwaukee goes, I have a soft spot for Milwaukee. I really loved covering games there.
Come on, you loved it because the guy whenever they hit a home run, there was a beer coming down.
Yeah, a guy slid down the tower into a bucket of foam.
You drank more beer at Milwaukee games than any other. Come on, Mario. I know you already. Okay, no, drank more coffee when they're playing Milwaukee. You drank more beer. Come on.
No, it was the brats. The sausages, the brats, right? They had brat races there.
Hold on, I gotta ask you this, okay? I know. Two-part question. I know Norm likes Laverne and Shirley. He likes Shirley. Did you like Laverne or what? Come on, in Milwaukee. But anyways, I digress there. I know what Norm thinks about this. Do you think the ALCS will be better or the NLCS? Milwaukee and the Dodgers and Toronto, Seattle. Of course, whenever Toronto goes to Seattle, it looks like they take over Seattle's stadium there. And of course, Seattle's close to Vancouver and all that. But Milwaukee and the Dodgers should be a fantastic series. What do you say, Mark? And then same question to you, Norm.
I agree. I think they'll all be fantastic series. These are the 4 best teams left, right? But I mean, the Dodgers, to me, everything's going to go through LA, right? I mean, the defending champs, they look fantastic. They just have too many weapons, too much depth. They play great at home. They got the best player in the game. And Ohtani and Judge, if you want to put it that way. But it just goes on and on. So to me, I not just because we're Toronto based here, but I would think the Jays Mariners series is probably going to offer up a little bit more drama, a little bit more unpredictability than the other series. But that's why we play them. We'll see. Milwaukee is a good team, and you cannot discount that. But to me, everything's going to go through LA, and if the Blue Jays make it through to the World Series, you're going to have a heck of a time, stacking that up again, stacking their lineup against the Dodgers. To me, it's just the Dodgers are a class of baseball right now. And I will, in terms of what series right now, prior to both of them starting, that I think would be the most intriguing, I would put the Jays and Mariners ahead of the Dodgers Brewers series.
All right, Norm, I know it's the same question, but I know Norm, forget about broths. Norm goes to Rogers Center on Tuesdays to eat how many hot dogs? Like 24 hot dogs, Norm, or what? You cheapskate.
Yeah, Joe, I haven't been to the Rogers Center in about 10 years. I'm glad I watched the games at home.
At the Rogers Center, when you were at Scotiabank Arena, they name a plate after you. All you can eat plate by Norm RUMACK.
No, actually, they made rules for me about limitations on how many slices and pieces and whatnot and servings the media can get. When I started going in '92, when the fans started, the hot dogs during the innings were free. Yeah. And then within a year, they stopped serving hot dogs entirely. And of course, at Scotiabank Arena, they put up a sign on the pizza rotisserie about you can only grab 2 slices of pizza. I used to grab about 2 entire pizzas. So they made special rules for me, but they just didn't put my name up there. So I felt a little bit, bad about that. But in any case, it's nice to be remembered for something,
All right, enough of pizza talk.
Now, as far as the series go, Yeah, I think the Dodgers Milwaukee series has a chance to be a classic. Uh, Blue Jays and Mariners, I'm not quite so certain because I know what to expect from the Blue Jays. I'm not quite sure I know what to expect from the Mariners. That's not a mark of disrespect. I'm just saying. I just, the Jays were pretty consistent during the regular season. The Mariners were, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think, Mark, they settled into their pattern more after the All-Star break, did they not?
Yeah, they finished very strongly and emerged as probably at a time they were one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Staying late on.
So, anyways, we'll see what happens. But I mean, Milwaukee has been consistent since May. They went on that 17-game winning streak, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers have been a model of excellence for, never mind days and months, they've been a model of excellence for about 10 years already. So, they haven't maybe won as many World Series as one might think, or they might hope. But, even when they struggle, they still get through it. They had some struggles during the beginning of the season. They had some pitching injuries and whatnot. But they managed to. There's nothing that throws them. They're the excellence level with the Dodgers is so profound that they don't get they don't get whacked by having guys struggling at the plate or some of their pitchers struggling, which doesn't happen that often. So they managed to get through it, and the leadership they've got there, with Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. I mean, that's just to name a couple, right? And the experiences they've had together collectively, they got a great manager. So I think that series has the potential to be one of the most exciting ever if both teams play to their potential.
All right, so let me get Mark and two final questions before we close out this. Throughout the series, we're going to do previews and reviews with Norm, and we'll try to get the former Blue Jay players and Norm's former colleague, Mike Wilner. Of course, Mark ZWOLINSKI will join us once or twice. Mark, let's look at game one. The rosters have just been announced. The Blue Jays will not have Bo Bichette, but they will have Matt Scherzer. He's replacing Tommy Nance, and Rural. Chris Bassett are replacing him. So Bo Bichette, hopefully, if they make it the World Series, will be there. That's the roster for the Blue Jays. But let's go to game one. What do you expect tonight? 8:03, and tomorrow game two is at 5:03. Go ahead, Mark.
I expect a lot of energy. I expect the Jays to really come out and take advantage. I think Vladdy's first at bat is going to tell you a lot, just because it's like an explosion. All you got to do is flick the igniter there, and they need to trip that igniter right away and make a statement right away. Seattle's obviously going to do everything they can to prevent that, but I do expect that with the energy that's going to be in the building. Finally getting to play now after, having 4 or 5 days off here. This is a big moment, obviously. And we're going to talk about big moments every inning from now on in, but this, as far as, once you get on like everybody says, once you get on the field, it's just another game or another game of hockey, another game of baseball, another game of football, whatever. I don't think that this game one here can be summed up so easily. It's a big moment for Toronto. Not to mention the fact that they're 4 games away from a World Series, and they both these teams are original expansion teams from '77. Mariners have never been to the series. The Jays have been twice. There's just a lot of sometimes, for lack of a better word, provenance, a lot of history. And just in Toronto, like in Canada, really, this is, you see even on TV the commercials with the Leafs and the Raptors that say it's fall, it's time to cheer on the Jays, right? It's not about the opening of basketball and hockey. It's everybody's in the Toronto Blue Jays. So I think this is a big moment. I expect, the bubble to really just explode, not just burst, but explode offensively, get the crowd going, and really. The adrenaline and the emotional push that they'll get out of this game one, if they do play according to script and are successful, is something that they can carry not only into game two, but right through the series, and have that belief that if they play like they can, and any team can say that, mind you, but if they play like they can, that they can put their foot down on the gas pedal here and really take control of the series.
So do they win game one tonight?
I say yes.
Okay.
I'm normally not so quick, as you guys know. I'm not normally so quick to jump to a prediction, but and this may not travel well either. But sitting here prior to the game, I see them winning game one. I see them, again, for all the reasons we're just talking about, just a pent up bundle of skill, expectation, power, home crowd, country behind you, all that type of thing, that they're ready. And this is ready to, once that first pitch goes, away you go. And I think they're going to ride a wave in game one here, and that should be enough to do the job.
All right, Norm, tell me about game one, and then I'll ask both you guys for your prediction. But go ahead, Norma. And by the way, great job by Norm's favorite company, Rogers, to promote their own everything, to promote the Blue Jays as Canada's national team, and they think they're averaging 3.6 million viewers a game. All right, great job by your Rogers, your favorite company, Norm.
Yeah. What can I tell you, Bill? I'm speechless.
Since they got rid of you, they could have took some money and gave it to me and Mark. But anyways, go ahead. Game one, what do you expect?
Yeah, did I tell you? Used to be employed by Rogers.
Really?
But anyway,
that's surprising. Used to. Who fired? Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, those were the days, as the song goes. But I expect
all right,
the Blue Jays.
Give me a Tylenol and give me a Gravol, give me whatever. Come on here.
Normie, don't take that from the host.
I almost turned
Norm RUMACK, the broadcasting legend, the Hall of Famer, a hammerhead personified. He was working for Rogers. He gave me my break here on the Fab 590. He knew that me and Roger Lajoie were a better team, and then unfortunately they let him go there. But now, Mark, he is the security guard of all security guards. I'm the president of the province of Canada, the mayor-elect of North America, soon to run for the mayor of Mozambique. I can't spell it, but I can run for it. He is my security guard. Look at that. Look at that. He comes in a tank top on nationwide international TV. Who does that? Norm, again, I'm going to ask you for the fifth time. Do the Blue Jays win tonight? Yes or no?
Well, I've got to intervene, Joe. I mean, you introduced me to all this wrestling shtick. So of course I'm going to wear a tank top. That's what your heroes wear. They don't wear nothing.
The views are going through the roof, and you know why? They're going because my sister's watching. All right, go ahead.
Oh, your sister's watching. Then I'll put on a shirt and tie. Give me a minute. No. So.
And I'm not talking about the McDonald's tie that you have.
No, you're just putting it up on the TV.
Anyway, I won't get fished into your question about working for Rogers. I won't take the bait and bite like a fish. But anyway, I expect the Blue Jays, as Mark said. I expect the Blue Jays, as Mark was iterating, to come out flying. I think they'll take game one. I do expect when Seattle gets back home. Seattle is one of the better sports cities in North America. I put it up there with Pittsburgh. It's not because of the sports teams, it's just because it's an enthusiastic market. We see the kind of support the Sounders get in soccer and the Seahawks get in the NFL, right? And it's dumb that the NBA doesn't have a team there. But anyway, I'm sure they will, or they're going to. So in any case, I expect it to be a good competitive series, but in terms of game one, I think the Blue Jays will be pretty sky high, and they'll manage to get the job done. They've been hitting like crazy. Their starting pitching's been pretty solid. The only question I have about the Jays, and guys who've seen this, is where in some of the Yankees games, the Yankees came back with some runs. Now it didn't affect the series really, other than You know,
Game 3.
well, they took the one game, but in any case, I expect Seattle to put up a good fight when they get back home because I don't think they're going to be scalping a whole lot of tickets to Blue Jay fans from Vancouver. So I think their fan base will be pretty. We saw them be pretty loud, enthusiastic
All
against
right. Now
Detroit.
listen. I'm going. Mark has
So
to
I,
go. He's writing a book or whatever. So I'm going to ask you this quickly. You got a 24-second shot clock. No wonder Norm is his infatuation with Seattle because he wants to catch up with Sean Kemp's record. All right, put it that way. If you don't know who Sean Kemp is, look him up. All right, Norm. I ask you this.
Joe, I thought you were trying to break that record.
No. I don't even think you can pull down your pants as many times as. Never mind. Okay, so look, do they win the series or not? Yes or no? 24-second shot clock.
Yeah, but I'm hoping it's a good competitive series,
I
right?
did not ask you if it's a competitive series. Stick to the program. Do they win and how many games?
Okay, they'll win the best of 7, and I'd like to see it go. So I'm going to say it's going to go the distance. How do you like that?
No, I don't like it. All right, Mark, what do you say?
I agree with Norm on the distance and the outcome.
Yeah, Joe. So there.
I actually agree with Mark. I don't agree with Norm, but whatever.
There are some obviously pretty strong factors for Seattle. Obviously they've got a Canadian in the lineup and Josh Naylor. He's actually had not been hitting well in the previous series. He came on in the last couple of games. Seattle's got a good starting rotation going, with Gilbert, Miller, Wu, who just come back from a pectoral injury. He's included on the roster. And Castillo and Kirby. And we saw Kirby pitch there. He looked fantastic against Detroit in that game against Skubal. So if they get, they've got 5 solid guys in the rotation. I don't know what their rotation, how they're going to work it. But if they get good 5-6 inning starts out of these guys, which they can, Castillo particularly is very good against the Jays. Then they got 3 relievers they can focus on and spare Brash and Munoz. So that gives them an advantage. But if the Jays can tap into that pen early, then they can really mix things up for them. Jays score a lot of runs at home, 431 during the regular season, 23 in the division series. The 431 was 3rd highest in the league. They swept Seattle in May, but Seattle was not playing well back then. Seattle's strong. You got a guy like J.P. Crawford batting 9th. What the Jays have to counter that is they have guys, as we know, like Clement, Luke's, other guys who just seem to come in their bit roles and play like they've been all-stars. The other thing I want to mention about Seattle's starting rotation, the names we just mentioned, all 5 of them have been all-stars, named to the all-star team in the past 2 years. They've also been pretty much intact for the past 2 years. So that is a very, very strong group. Whereas the Jays, as much as there's talk about Savage, this is going to be his 5th start. Yeah. That's a lot to expect and put on a rookie. He's not even a rookie, really. He can handle it. He said he's built for it. Well, we're all built for something, right? But with the advantage he has in that delivery and the splitter that he throws, and the Jays do have 4 guys who throw great splitters. Savage, Gosman, who starts tonight. Then who are the other 2? Hoffman.
Yeah.
And there's one other in the bullpen that throw great splitters. So, but got to remember that Seattle's had the third best team average against the splitters. So Seattle's not going to just roll over here. Maybe, the Yankees provided some pretty stiff competition. They came alive. They were a strong home run hitting team, but Seattle's got a lot going for it. Defensively might be a little bit of a concern, whereas the Jays have superb defense. I don't know. I still think it's going to go 7. I think it's going to be a hell of a series. The Jays are going to have to do well on the road, and they seem to be a good road team. But I'm in, in agreement with Norm that it goes the distance and that the Jays will come out ahead in the end.
Both of you are wrong. The Jays will win in 6 games. And don't forget, in the ALCS and the World Series, it's 2-3-2 as opposed to 2-2-1-1. So it's 2-3-2.
Yeah.
If the Blue Jays do their job here, they'll be up 2-0. They just need to win 1 game and bring it back home. There you go. Norm,
what are we going to put on the line for that?
Sorry?
We've never put something on the line.
All right, so hold on here. Hold on. Let me ask Norm. First of all, tell everybody how to get a hold of you. I'm going to think of what he wants me to bet and all that, but tell everybody how to get a hold of. Oh, hold on here. Hello? Oh, Vlad, ¿cómo estás? Diga. Oh, Norm, Vlad Guerrero's on the phone and he says, the Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Hey, ¿va a venir aquí hablando con Norm RUMACK or qué? Oh, star.
Yeah, I think Vlad is cheering for the Montreal Canadiens, and so he should. He's a Montreal native.
Whatever,
Go Habs, go! Go Habs, go! That's what he's saying in Spanish.
We're doing Blue Jays. We're not doing Maple Leaf forever, all right? Go tell everybody first of all. I found out what we're betting, Mark. But tell everybody first of all how to get a hold of you.
You can find me here trying to push Joe Pasic's buttons on the Fired Up Network on a regular basis, a couple of times a week. And we have a lot of fun with great guests like Mark Zawolinsky,
Working with
star, and a multi-time author. One of his books was wisely named Norma. Can't go wrong with that.
Sorry, I'm going to say this.
So, in any case, hey, Joe, isn't your favorite quarterback in the history of mankind Josh Allen? Isn't he a Mariners fan?
Norm, Mark's going to replace you for the next week and a half. All right. That's Norm.
The gloves are off. Attaboy, Normie.
Now that's let's talk about Mark and his books there. And Mark was telling me he has an interesting book coming out, hopefully coming out very, very soon. Go ahead, Mark. Tell everybody about it. And the book that Norm was talking about, Norma, it's a great book. Check it out. It's probably cheap now, right, Mark? It's probably cheap. Even Norm
bargain basement cheap.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thanks. Joey, thanks. You always do me a nice favor here in promoting the book. I do have a fiction book on baseball coming out. Either I'll find out within. Hopefully by the end of the month, if one publisher's got it, and if not, there's a publisher who will do it next year. They're just loaded up and they're very small. They do a lot of. They're publishing. They don't print books unless they reach a certain sales level. So it would be digital at first, but they make a cover digitally. They use AI and a lot of stuff. They use AI to promote the books, and it's very interesting. So this book's called Coop. It's about a baseball glove that witnesses coming of age of a first-round pick in the minor leagues, then changes hands to a new owner who's a college softball player, completely different world, but witnesses what he goes through with his family in terms of one of his brothers an addict. His mother goes on to be a senator in the U.S. Government, and their family goes down a painful path after when they lose their father / husband, and it's a story of survival. The glove survives 2 owners and ends up getting thrown away, and tells you the story from underneath a trash heap, which is unusual, and it's unusual to have a baseball glove narrate a book, but that was the idea that was encouraged to me by several friends. And like I said, I really hope it makes it through the weighing process now that's going on with the publisher. And if not, we will certainly get it out digitally to start next year. So really looking forward to that. Thanks for promoting it. And we need to discuss briefly this disparity between Norm and I and you on the length of the series. If it goes 7,
you guys say 7, but besides that, I'll get to what we're betting.
What are we going on? We need to know what is the outcome, who owes who, what.
Yeah, I'm going to get to
you're
that in a
proved
second.
wrong.
But to be fair, we all picked the Blue Jays in the ALCS, but I haven't asked you who's your pick in the NLCS. Quickly, Mark, who's your pick in the
Dodgers.
NLCS?
I got to go with Dodgers, Joey. I mean, I would go with Dodgers when you in 2 weeks when we're going to have a World Series preview. I'd go with the Dodgers. Then I'll go with them now too. I just that's the mountain to climb. Whether they win it or not, that's why we're going to play it, and we can all make our predictions, and they'll either travel well or they won't. But the Dodgers are the mountain to climb here. They're too deep. They're too good. They're worth too much money. That is one franchise that you would want to play for because ownership does not put any restrictions, strings, or anything on the wallet. They spend to win. They spend whatever it takes to win. They get whoever it takes to win. That's the mountain you got to climb. So Dodgers.
They have the same mentality as Jolt and Joe. Just ask Norm when I give him his check. All right, Norm. NLCS, who do you pick?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the LA Dodgers for the reasons.
All right, don't give me 10 minutes of now. Mark wants to know
About 15 minutes.
What we're going to bet here. All right, what we're going to bet here. So
For Joe, it's French fries and gravy and ice cream, Mark. That's all he wants.
Big for Mark. I got something big for Mark. Okay, I got something big for Mark. Your next book, we're going to do right or wrong. Put it this way, right or wrong. You'll get Norm doing the voiceover for you when you want people to come and do autograph signings and everything like that. And Norm, you got a couple Hammerhead shirts to give Mark one autograph.
I gotta get one. Okay,
one. So Norm, find a Hammerhead shirt, autograph it to him, and say the assistant to the president of the provinces of Canada, the mayor-elect of North America, soon to run for the mayor of Switzerland. All right, and give Mark. Mark loves chocolate. All right, give him 2 bars of chocolate. That sort of stuff. If you win, Norm, you know what we're gonna do for you? I'm going to call everybody in MLSE, and when the Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup, you're going to be the MC in 2096 when you're 270 years old, still coming up there, ladies and gentlemen. The whole of the 2096 Stanley Cup champions, the Toronto, Buffalo, Quebec Maple Leafs. All right, that's what's going to happen. And if I win, you guys are going to give me $20 each. All right, that's it. In any case, I win. So I say 6. You guys say 7. For me. It doesn't matter if Milwaukee wins or the Dodgers win. We're going to the World Series. And Norm, look at this. Mark, look at this. All right. I need another ring. This is an Argonaut ring that they won last year against Winnipeg. The Argos are not going to win this year, but I need another ring. All right. If
I need one too.
Yeah, you'll get one. Norm, I'll give him a ring. He hasn't cleaned up the ring around his bathtub or something like that. All right. So there you go. Norm, you get the final word. Anything you want to say here? You got 4 seconds.
Okay.
You're done. Mark,
Thank you.
No, go ahead.
You guys are hilarious.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Norm. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that both series, the NLCS and the ALCS, are exciting as they have the potential to be. And Dodgers Jays World Series would have the potential to be a classic. And so let's hope, from a Toronto perspective, it works out that way. But I hope these series with Toronto and Seattle and the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers are. Let's face it, we watch for entertainment, so let's hope they're both entertaining series and nail biters like a good movie. And that's what we're in it for, right? If we knew the scores ahead of time, we wouldn't be watching. So let's hope we get to see some classic series, both in the NL and the AL, and they have that potential to be that exciting. So let's hope it works out that way.
And remember, tonight, 8:03 first pitch. Tomorrow, 5:03 first pitch. Also, on behalf of Mark and Norm, I want to wish everybody out there a happy Thanksgiving to your friends and your family and everything like that. And for the Jews out there, Shana Tova, Norm, and all that. Chag Sameach. It was Jewish New Year just a couple days ago. So here we are. We're going to be all over the ALCS. We're going to be all over NFL. We're all over the Maple Leafs. By the way, Mark, Norm has said the Maple Leafs will not win the Stanley Cup this year. Will not win the Stanley Cup this year. Bank it, book it. I could bet your house on it. In fact, I will bet your house on it. I won't bet my house because I'm still a Maple Leaf fan. I'll bet your house. I'll bet your Muskoka cottage in there. And Norm wanted to go to the cottage, but he couldn't find $5. So, to travel there or whatever. How's your cottage, first of all? How you liking retirement?
What's that?
How you liking retirement?
Retirement is highly recommended when you get there. Having your time to yourself and being able to be the master of your time is great. I'm sure your friends will come up and tell you the only thing you're going to do is walk malls. Never been to one. I'll be coming up on 2 years in November since I've been retired. It puts years on your life, not takes them off. And, you get to spend more time with your wife, who you see in my background, back and forth.
Yeah, hold on. I want to know. We asked who's your pick for the ALCS, but I want to know your wife's pick. Go behind you and say, who do you pick, the Blue Jays or the Seattle Mariners?
Okay, Iris, who do you pick to win the series? Blue Jays or Seattle?
Blue Jays, of course.
There you go.
See, Norm. What about next show? Norm and her do a duet and say, "Let's go Blue Jays." You know the Blue Jays song and seventh inning stretch, because Norm stretches out in the first inning, not the seventh. But
no, well, we've got to be fair to Seattle. Like, why don't we play some of Jimi Hendrix's greatest hits? I mean, even the hardcore Blue Jays.
If I'm kidding, I know Jimmy.
Let's play All Along the Watchtower. This is one of the greatest songs in the history of the human race.
Norm, can you get copyright for that? Because if I play it and I get screwed, no way. You're gonna be paid for that. You mentioned this. I gotta get copyright. All my money goes to Mark Zwolinski. To you, I get 50 cents to buy a coffee. Come on.
Yeah, well, Joe, then maybe the Jimi Hendrix estate would let you use the music if you put on a Seattle Mariners jersey or a Seahawks jersey.
You're on with Mark Zwolinski, the famed author, great writer for the Toronto Star and all that. Please, begging you, even my sister begs you to wear a shirt. We don't need to see the hair on you got to shave your back, let alone your face, your back. We don't need to see that. Come on. The last time you shaved your back was 1993 when the Blue Jays won the World Series. Touch them all, Joe.
Yeah, well,
home run.
Joe, I could recommend a good Halloween mask for you.
Yeah. What am I going to be dressed up as, Norm?
Oh, you guys, it's a good thing you're friends.
What do you mean I'm friends? I don't like this guy. For 50 years, man, I've been carrying him for like 30 years on the fan. I'm carrying him. You know what? I tell them, go this time, be a little bit more fired up. You're on the Fired Up Network. You got to be fired up. Yeah, Joe. I just come back from working 12-hour shifts, and I'm only doing this because I have respect for Mark Zwolinski. Why not at 3:00 p.m.? Why can't we do this? Listen, I'm your boss. I pay you the big bucks. Mark says 12:30. You're here 12:30, and now we're on for 36 minutes. I don't want to be on for 36 minutes. I'm missing NFL Sunday. Come on.
Yeah. Well, Joe, let's hope for your sake too. Joe, I'm picking the Lions to beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. How do you like that?
Well, I knew that's going to happen because I'm tired of going to the Super Bowl and losing. Mark, by the way, the Buffalo Bills are going to be the Super Bowl champion this year. Why? Because the Super Bowl this year is in 2026, Santa Clara, California, February 8th. Guess what February 8th is? My 52nd birthday. How apropos, the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl on my birthday. It's like I write this stuff. Paul Heyman has nothing on me.
Attaboy. 52.
Yeah. See, you
don't look it.
Buffalo winning the Super Bowl?
I'd like to see that. And if it was Bills Lions, I think we'd all be in heaven.
Yeah. What is better, a buffalo or a lion? That's something you need to, Norm, find that out. You got till February to do an inside buffalo or a lion. Which one has the biggest roar? Which one are you scared about? Well, you're scared about a bug, Norm. But which one?
Well, Joe, I'd suggest you watch the National Geographic. You'll find your answer
You
pretty
watch
quickly.
that, that's where you put half the people to sleep. I'm fired up. What are you? I need a coffee. It's 3:00 p.m. What are you guys doing? Come on, Norm. You sound like half your workers at the Fab 590. Come on.
Yeah.
By the way,
Well,
who owns the Fab 590? All right, Mark. Thanks a lot for your time here. We'll get you on next sometime during the series. We're all saying the Blue Jays. We're probably Blue Jays and the Dodgers. That will be great because finally Shohei Ohtani will come up with the team he was supposed to sign for and didn't. He screwed the Blue Jays, and now the Blue Jays are going to, I'll use Norm's word, screw him too. Norm, you like screwing. So, look, all the time. Imagine the Blue Jays, 1993, they won the World Series. 2025, imagine what it's going to be like when they win the World Series, Mark.
I can imagine it.
You can?
I just want us to get through this series, and hopefully everything we say is reasonably accurate. So,
all right, Norman won't be accurate. He's never been accurate since 1993. He still thinks you should keep Fedorov and trade Wendell Clark or whatever. Like, what's wrong with this guy? All right, Norm. Anything else you want to say?
no, but just in retro.